How many of us, today the subject I've got is Web 3.0. How many of us actually know a little bit about Web 3.0? Any hands? Like, can I see some hands? All right, I see quite a few hands. Oh, I see almost all of them. And most of the people know about Web 3.0. Fantastic. All right, so what I'm going to do today, I'm going to just run, for those who don't know, I'm going to run somebody can't hear me. Anybody else can? Everybody's fine? I'm getting a message that someone can't hear me. Am I okay? All right, cool. All right, so today I'm going to just run you through very quickly the 3 iterations of the web. How did we reach Web 3.0? Because we can't reach there without going through the first 2. And then my favorite, what it is doing for humanity, what it is doing for you and me and the whole beautiful world we live in. So let's get started. All good to go? Yes, everyone can hear me, so I'm fine, I'm good. All right, thanks Ankit for having me here. And well, I call Web 3.0 the future of the internet. It's not stopping there at 3.0, that's for sure. There'll be more iterations, but let's have a quick look. How did we reach here? And what is Web 3.0? We all know, Berners-Lee, the creator of World Wide Web, he described it as Web 3 is read, write, and execute. It's the version of the web that actually gives us the power to create and execute tools and software rather than depending on other people for software. Now, that's what his definition was. But simply put, it's the new internet evolution. It brings to the internet what 1 and 2, the first 2 iterations, could never bring. And what is that? Let's understand what's Web 1 and 2 first. So we all know what Web 1 was when it all started back in the 90s. It was a read-only web. What was the goal? To make information available for you and me, and then just we could read everything about it and do nothing else. It's basically a good information source. And you know what? A lot of e-commerce companies, surprisingly, even today, are still on 1.0. And that is surprising because everything has moved so much, but we've not seen movement in the e-commerce page. Pretty minimalistic and transactional. Anyways, that was the first iteration of the net. I won't go into too much detail, just covering a little basis out here. The second iteration, what we call Web 2.0, was the read-write web. It empowered users much more. Now we are no longer idle visitors. We can create our own content, upload it. And by around 2003, 2004, it had taken the world by storm. And in just a decade, completely redefined marketing and business operations. That was the second stage. It was the read-write web, not read-only. The Instagrams and everything else, the Facebooks, everything started really populating around this time. Today, we know what Instagram can do. It can make or break a band. It can make or break a person. It can make or break businesses. One single photo, one wrong review, and it's all gone. You all heard of Yelp. Yelp can destroy a reputation with one single negative review. Who gave us that power? That's the power Web 2.0 actually gave us, but it could also be detrimental. So the idea was of Web 2 to make it more democratic and make it as user accessible as possible, but some things didn't work properly. Google, Facebook, Twitter, these are very famous 2.0 applications. I'm sure all of us have used them. Google Maps, yep, YouTube, yep, WordPress, everything. In fact, web technologies like HTML5, CSS3, JavaScript, React.js, Angular, all these came up with new concepts, allowing users to contribute to the social web. That was a very big iteration. In fact, I would call Web 2.0 a very strong, very impactful era in the history of the internet. Now we come to Web 3.0. Yeah, we all know basically what it is. And I'm glad we know, a lot of us know what it is. So now this is the third iteration, the read, write, and execute. So from read only, read, write, the read, write, execute, the third iteration. Here, actually, not just, not other technologies, but even artificial intelligence has come into play big time here, machine learning, AI. They enable computers to understand data the same way we do. So what does it do? Basically, it's because we're talking blockchain, so we all understand what is decentralization. So decentralization, openness, and user utility. These are the defining characteristics of Web3. I'll go a little more deeper into the characteristics because we understand the web much better by then. Now, instead of apps, we got dApps. Now, these are developed, that is decentralized applications developed on decentralized peer-to-peer networks like Ethereum, IPFS, etc. They're operated and maintained by the users, unlike what they were now. Now they are all yours. The control is with you. They self-organize and they don't have a single point of failure. All these things were not there in the second iteration. The third iteration gives the power back in our hands, more and more power in the hands of the consumer or the user. Now, you'll notice also when you hear about Web3 cryptocurrencies, which are frequently mentioned, that many of these, because all these protocols, most of them involve some form of tokens and cryptos. That's the incentives. Now, these are things which have never been seen before. The last 2 or 3 years have really brought this to the forefront. Now, the idea was, what's it called? A semantic web. Are you aware that it's called a semantic web? Well, it is a semantic web because it understands and interprets context and the concept of the data. It is more user-friendly. It is more intuitive. And that's why when a user searches for an answer now, Web3 delivers the most accurate, relevant results to the end user. Otherwise, you would have reams and reams of pages, hundreds of pages. Things are getting more smarter, accurate, to the point, saves you time, money, effort. And again, before that, as we all know, the Googles, the Facebooks, the Alibabas, the Microsoft, they made a humongous loads and loads of profit from your data. Why? Because you got to give them the data to have access to so many of their services. There's no choice you have. We've been relentlessly being exploited by these guys. Well, it's their business. I don't blame them. But then, did we have a choice? No, we didn't have a choice. Do we have a choice now? Yes, we have a choice now. And we've been exploited, yes, all right. Now, with Web 3.0, you can be paid for the data. If you want to release your data, you should be paid for it. You can get compensated for it either through token or any other incentivization. You can do it. It can happen now. It never used to happen before. Because now the data, which is the new gold or the new oil, is with you. The power of that is with you. So if you want to sell data, you can actually do that, but they need to take permission from you. Right now, nobody needs your permission. You are all over the globe. Your data is with everybody. Trust me, I don't even want to tell where your data is. It'll scare the hell out of us. Anyways, now with this third generation iteration, we are enjoying a lot more personalized interactions. That's what Web3 has become. More personalized, more user-friendly, and as I said, data back in control with you, the user. So if I was to just summarize, how did we reach 1, 2, 3? Web 1 was driven by content that came from businesses and customers. Web 2 took things to a little further by allowing users to upload and share content. And Web 3 allows online applications and websites to receive information that's on the web and give new information and data to the users. So there have been 3 steps to where we reached Web 3.0. Now, if somebody asks me, what are the key things? What are the key features of Web 3.0? What are we looking at? And if we understand the features and if we understand a couple of key cornerstones, we'll understand Web 3.0 a little better. First of all, one of the key features of Web 3.0 is that it's open. What is open? Well, open means it's open source software developed by an available community of developers and in full view of you and me. We know what's happening. We know why the development is happening. What is the progress? What are the flaws? Everything is open. So that's one of the key things of Web 3.0, unlike other iterations. Second, it's trustless. The network offers freedom for you and me to interact publicly and privately without any intermediary exposing us to risks. It's called trustless data. Simply put, peer-to-peer, the very fundamentals of blockchain. So the fundamentals of blockchain again being what? It's trustless. I mean, it's decentralized, distributed, immutable, and of course, it's trustless. It's a single, so simply put, peer-to-peer, you to me to you. That's how we interact now. Another very key element of Web 3.0 is that it's permissionless, sorry. Anyone can engage without need for permission from a controlling organization. That comes like decentralization, which I was talking about. That's important. You don't need a Facebook now. You probably, even Facebook's going to start evolving at some point of time. You don't need permission anymore. It's more important. It's fourth one, which I would say is a very key element also. It makes the internet available to all of us at any time and from any location. And they will now no longer be limited to computers and smartphones as they are in the Web 2, because now IoT technology is going to enable the development of a lot of new intelligent gadgets. That is going to be the big difference. Previously, of course, we can only access from our laptops, desktops, tabs, and iPhones or whatever. Now there are going to be other devices with the blending of the IoT, that is Internet of Things, like smart devices. We can actually do that now. I'm working on 2 projects myself right now in this space, and it's really exciting. While we saw which are the key features, there are some things more which we should really know. And when I've finished with this, when I've finished explaining a little more about this, I'll tell you how we talked about Web 1, 2, and 3. I'll share with you 3 wonderful use cases on how it is actually helping humanity as well, which is the theme of today's talk anyways. But the background is important for us to understand why. So if I ask you what are the cornerstones of Web 3.0, apart from what we discussed, those are the key underpinning features. They are, first of all, it's a semantic web. Can anybody tell me what is a semantic web? Anybody knows? If they know, can you put it in the chat box? Anybody knows? All right, I'll get on with it. No problem. We can always get back to it later on. Well, the semantic web is one of the key elements. It speaks about the capabilities of analyzing the data on the web. Content, links, transactions between people and computers. All this is emerging. It's not fully emerged as yet. I would not call it fully mature as yet, but that's what's happening. But the day it does, the day-to-day mechanism of trade, bureaucracy, and our daily lives will be handled machine speaking with machines. These intelligent agents, with the background of AI and ML, will materialize. So semantic web, along with artificial intelligence, will be the 2 major pillars of Web 3.0. It'll help teach the computers that the data means, and that will involve artificial knowledge across the net, helping us understand the meanings of words to generate, shares, lots more. There's already a beginning there. There's a lot more in that space now, but it's not completely mature. I think in another 6 months to a year, we'll see a major, major shift there. So while we talked about semantic webs, we are all aware of artificial intelligence, right? So artificial intelligence up next, I would say, along with blockchain technology, I'd say AI is the hottest, most disruptive technology. It will help machines become more intelligent, satisfy the needs of users. Websites will be allowed to filter and present the best data available to all of us. Now, currently in Web 2, we started taking user opinions to help understand the quality. But Web 3, it'll take it to a new dimension. Now, for example, we all seen Rotten Tomatoes. That's this website where you can get a vote on the list of movies. Movies with a higher rating are generally considered good movies. And lists like this help us get good data without going through the bad data. And peer reviews is one of the biggest contributions. But there's the caveat. But as we know, human recommendations are not incorruptible. A group of people can just get together and give everything, a good movie, a bad rating, and keep changing the whole semantics of it. So that's also not very reliable data. We may have good data and bad data, but not very reliable data. With bringing in artificial intelligence, there's going to be a major shift in that as well. Another very key thing of Web 3.0 is a change the future of internet develops from simple 2D into more realistic 3D cyber worlds. Now, 3D is being extensively used in websites or in Web 3 websites, especially when it comes to online gaming, e-commerce, real estate, etc. Well, this would have seemed really far-fetched about 20 years ago, and now it's there for us to see. Finally, I would say, as a cornerstone, ubiquitous is another keyword that comes to mind when we talk about Web 3.0. What is ubiquitous? Well, the idea it means is nothing else but the idea of existing or being everywhere, especially at the same time, something like what we say omnipresent. We have already got this feature in Web 2.0, like Instagram. Users can capture images on a camera and upload and distribute it online, and that becomes the intellectual property. The image thus becomes accessible everywhere. Anybody can have access. That is ubiquitous now. With the development of mobile devices and internet, with make this Web3 experience available anywhere, anytime. No longer on your desktops, as I said earlier, on any device, thanks to IoT. So there we have a little overview which I wanted to give you on what is Web 1, 2, and 3. Right, now, we talked a little about that. There's so much more we can cover, but we have limited time. So I said, let's cover the little basics anyways. Now let's see how it's helping humanity. That's very important. It's apart from helping humanity, there's a lot more things happening, yes. And all right, I see a lot of questions inside. I'll answer all the chat questions after this in my next 5-10 minutes. I'll answer all of them, not to worry, okay? And whoever's raised their hands can also ask me all the questions again. All right, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you about 3 different projects which actually serve humanity. I'm very fortunate to be involved with each one of them. And that's why I'm sharing my experience. And it's all there because of Web 3.0. The first project I'm talking about, and this is going to get launched sometime in the month of April. It's called DASI, Digital Art for Social Impact. What are we doing at the DASI? Well, the Web3 gives us the platform where everybody can interact with each other. It's basically an NFT platform where we have a lot of paintings made by children who don't have regular education. Okay, they have, they can upload all the pictures, and as I said, from any device. So we've created some prototype devices where they can use, and these guys don't have access to the internet. They don't have access to devices because they are underprivileged. So with these devices, they can upload their photographs or pictures which they've created, paintings or drawings, whatever, on this particular platform. And that's visible to the world again. People can interact with them, speak with them, buy their NFTs, and all the money which is collected it's written on a smart contract. So all the money that will go towards their education. There is no profit motive in all this. It's a complete base, and it's based entirely on Web3, where they can have, they can have a lot of interactions with the kids. They can actually track and trace the journey of the child and his journey as he gets educated. Everything is there. So that's just the beginning. There's lots more of it coming. We've started this project in Cambodia, coming now to India, Africa, Bangladesh, Pakistan, all the countries where we feel where there are, anybody can participate for that matter. The proceeds go towards, through smart contracts, go towards the education of these children. That's a good use of Web 3.0. The power is in your hands. You can actually see and track and trace where the money is going. Right now, when you give to a charity, you really don't know where it's going. And you can't even do it through the net. There is no traceability. It's 2-dimensional. Now it's 3-dimensional. And you can even speak to the child whenever you feel like. Everything is all in place. That's a wonderful experience of what Web3 can do. So that's my 1.0 example, my first example. The second example, and I want you to really have a look at this. This is already, you can see it on the website. Yeah. On the website, there is a project called the Rohingya Project. I'm sure all of us know who the Rohingyas are. If you don't know, I will just explain to put it in better context. They are a displaced community. When I say displaced community, they're a community which no country really wants. Just move from place to place, and everybody's sort of, they've been marginalized for many, many years. I won't tell you which countries are marginalizing them, but bottom line is they are spread. There are about 350,000 plus Rohingyas all across the globe. Now, what do we do for them? What we do for them is we've created a platform of financial and social inclusion for them on the blockchain. And this project also has been backed by United Nations. So that's a great thing, is that a lot of people came together, including us, and we created this. And what we created for them is a community coin called the R coin, the Rohingya coin. Yep, that's right. Thank you, Ankur, for putting that up for everybody. Rohingya Project is a great project of inclusiveness, financial inclusiveness, social inclusiveness. This particular community now interacts with each other. They have all their archives on the blockchain. Track and trace is easy. They can track their lands, because a lot of people have usurped the lands. They have proof and they can put it up on there. And that's the matters that go to United Nations, and they can take it up there. They have their education on blockchain. Again, they can trace up, anybody can participate, anybody can share courses out there, work out there. Then we've created a community coin. The community coin basically is a coin used by the community to empower each other. So the second community, surprisingly, a very large community approaches us for actually creating this. It's the Buddhists. Now, what is a coin at the end of the day, for that matter? It's nothing but a community-driven initiative. And now community coins are becoming a very big thing, only possible because we have Web 3.0. Why Web 3.0? The semantics are clear. The artificial intelligence drives everything. The smart contracts plugging in beautifully, making things very transparent. And most important, helping each other through an initiative, through a community coin, which has some value. Of course, I can go into detail in that, and anybody wants to know, I can share much, much more later on, but it just, with the paucity of time, just giving you the peripheral right now. And the third one, which we have done, is a very nice and very interesting one. That is a coin for artisans called the Afoma coin. We created a website where all artisans, again, from all over the globe, wherever they come from, and whatever devices they have, they can actually upload whatever they have, keep it for everybody. People can interact with them, speak with them, and again, the smart contracts make sure that all the artisans are paid exactly what they're due. There are no middlemen. It's direct, peer-to-peer, you to me. And these are three of the very simplest forms of examples I can give you on how Web3 is actually impacting us. So we impact societies, we empower societies, we are empowering communities. Empowered communities empower nations. I think Web3 is not just something, a new iteration. It's a beautiful tool to empower not just humanity, economy, nations, and all of us, you and me. So I think I'll stop here. I had 15 minutes to speak, so I've taken my 15 minutes, but I'm going to take some more time to answer a lot of your chats. There are lots of chats there, and I'm happy to answer any questions. So I'm going to open the chat box, Ankur, and I'm going to ask these, first answer these, and anybody else wants anything else? Right. Okay. Darren says, thanks for mentioning Daisy. All right. Darren is a good friend of mine. He is one of the guys who's very inspired. And we had a talk this morning also on how we're going to take Daisy to the next level. So yes, thank you. My pleasure, Daisy. Okay. How are blockchain platforms accessible to the underprivileged communities? Good question, Cabra. I just explained to you with Web 3.0, we have other devices where you don't really need to have your smartphones and your laptops. With other devices like dongles, you can actually do that. Even we are actually creating a device which almost everybody has. Even if you have a keypad phone, you can get with that, no problem. That's a lot a lot of that is under pilots. A lot of work is being done. We are actually combining the IoT, just like a remote control you have. Everybody like that. With that, we'll be able to do that. Next one. Can you please provide the link of the DASI project? So Marco, you can reach out to me. The website is going to be set up very soon. So whenever you if you just reach out to Ankur or anybody at Unit, I will make sure that you have that with you for sure. All right, right, Ankur, that's question also you. So I'll provide it to you. The website is under, I think by first week of April, it should be ready. All right. Okay. In the meantime, if you like, I can send you a presentation. So that will be nice. In fact, you can also go on Telegram and join the community. It's always nice. You'll get to know the updates there anyways. So that's for Daisy. Okay, let me read the questions. I can barely hear. Okay, that's fine. Yes, we can hear you. Oh, there are a lot of yes, we can hear you. All right. Yes, somebody has Ankur said it correctly. LinkedIn.com. Wait, is friendly. Web of meaning. Yes, that's a good way. Web of meaning. All right, takeaways. Complex and multi-layered in terms of meaning. Well, complexities make life simpler at some point of time because it makes it layered. The more layers, the better content, more honest content, and more controlled content comes to us. That's good. BBC World Cup site, Google, Flipboard, etc. Yes. These are not questions. These are comments, which I'm glad people have read. Please add your questions. Where can we hear more of Mr. Kapoor sessions? Well, Sonia, you can hear a lot. Ankur will give you all that information. You can go online. You can see some of my TED Talks. You can see some of my other sessions on YouTube. I keep speaking at multiple events. You can see that. And if you want to reach out anytime, I'm on LinkedIn. I'm not on Facebook, etc. So you can find me there. How will we create awareness and build a tribe for DASI? Somebody's asked me. Yes, that's a very good question. And we are doing a lot from our side. We are getting all the UNICEFs and all the, right from the UNICEF, United Nations, to everybody in this space involved. We are working with a lot of corporates in India, for that matter, from the CSR arm, who are going to do a lot of work in and also we've approached about 8 NGOs in India where they have these kids. They want to be educated. So these kids will make the paintings, put it up on DASI's site. NFTs will be created. People like you and me can actually look forward to buying them and doing something good for humanity, doing good for the kids, sending them to school, teaching them how to fish, not just giving them fish. That's what we need. We want to empower these kids, and that's one of the big things we're doing. So we have another question. Thanks, Raj, for mentioning. All right, I think I've covered the questions here.
I think there are more questions down, and we also have Amita. Would you like to ask a question to Raj directly? Your hand is raised. Okay, sorry. What about you, Iyad?
Yes. Thank you so much, Raj and Ankur. So basically, my question is in the chat. I would say, how would you describe the relationship between Web3 and blockchain? Apparently, Web3 is not, it's not a product, it's an idea that is enabled by blockchain. Is that an accurate way to describe this?
Yes, you could say that. Also, if you see the principles of blockchain, that is peer-to-peer, decentralized, the concepts of blockchain are very well embedded in Web 3.0. Although I cannot say Web 3.0 is completely blockchain, but these are the very key elements of blockchain which are embedded beautifully in Web 3.0, which enable all these things to happen, which enable the power of, especially the data, to be in your own hands rather than somebody else's hands. These are the key things you can take out from blockchain from there. And of course, the incentivization, because that's the blockchain is where we can actually create a tokenomics scenario. And that's what blockchain for us. It brings about, it's not just an information technology, it's an institutional technology. It allows us to tokenize, it allows us to give rewards, unlike any other technologies. Can be used beautifully in the web. Yeah, it's the same thing, same question. Would you say Web3 is a part of the blockchain? I would say definitely is built with the concept of blockchain, and blockchain plays an integral part in that, yes. But not everything is on blockchain.
Awesome. Can I follow up on that question, if I may?
Yes, please.
Thanks. So would you say there are jobs on the Web3 world? And how would you describe these jobs? We know there's a blockchain developer, for example, as a job, but how would there be a Web3 developer, and how it's different than a blockchain developer?
Well, the Web3 is the internet. We're talking about information there. The clarity of information, putting the power back in your hands, all that is because of blockchain. Blockchain has many other use cases, and Web3 is just one of the iterations of what blockchain can do, basically. Blockchain can be used for so many other things. I would say it's a good Web3 is a good subset of the blockchain. Well, somebody has a question.
I think there's a question from Beatrice that how can you actually pay day-to-day invoices like rent, light, gas, food when you're getting all your income in tokens? How can you help those communities to exchange that to fiat? One of the main issue I see is that the interaction with the rest of the world and some inconvenience with the government.
Oh, yes, that's a very good question also, because yes, there's a lot of gray area around this actually. However, let's put it this way. For example, when I talked about the Rohingya Project, you can read about it a little bit here. You can swap them at some point of time. There is a place, there's a time when you can swap these coins through a swap exchange, and then you can actually get them into fiat currencies at some point of time. There are the mechanisms in place, and that's the roadmap. If you see on the website also, there's a roadmap of when that will happen. And now that brings us to the question of compliances. That's a very big question. Because it's right now blockchain, and right now tokens are borderless, I would say. It doesn't belong to any one country. Things are easier. There are going to be compliances as we go forward. That's for sure. It's not that we are never going to get away from it. We're going to have compliance. There should be. Frameworks and compliances only help us to make and shape our solutions much better. However, it's a great, just like today we talk about the Bitcoin for that matter. Bitcoin, community owned. Now, we are all tribes by nature. We're all tribes by nature. We all, mix and match with our tribes. Community coins actually help create an economy for the community. And that's one of the key takeaways, whether it's Rohingya or anybody else. So interaction with the rest of the world, yes, basically first it is to empower the tribes, the communities themselves, and then give them more financial inclusion for them to integrate with real world, which right now, for example, the Rohingya are completely marginalized. So that's one of the things which I think are there. And one of the opportunity for women. Oh, all right. Right, that's perfect. What are the opportunities for women who come from traditional finance? So many questions popping in. All right. Okay. Yeah. What are the opportunities for women who come from traditional finance, banking, and asset management types? All right. Well, Lisa, let me tell you one thing. If you're in any of these spaces, whether today or tomorrow, you are going to encounter blockchain. You're going to encounter Web 3.0. You're going to encounter the NFTs. You're going to enter the Metaverse. Everybody's talking about it. Not many people know how to go there. But trust me, Lisa, if you're in traditional finance and banking, that is the first adopter of blockchain. Finance has been the basic major adopter of blockchain. Banks, within the next 5 to 10 years, most of them are moving on to the blockchain. At least some workflows are moving onto the blockchain. So if you're in the traditional space, you will encounter blockchain very soon. So in India, there is no clarity on token and digital assets. What would be the future of blockchain usage in various sectors? Okay, I'll just flip the question a little bit for you guys here. I don't know how many of you know that in India, there are almost 80 to 90 projects floated by the government on the blockchain in 14 states, right? There are different, there are different types. There are e-governance, there is a little bit of supply chain, there is digital identity, there are, public distribution systems on the blockchain. Now, all these are running on blockchain, okay? So first, blockchains are not going anywhere. The technology is not going anywhere. There are going to be compliances, there are going to be rules and regulations, but blockchain is not going anywhere. So it's not going to impact blockchain. It may impact certain virtual digital currencies, but blockchain is not going anywhere. In fact, December 2021, the government's body, that's the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, took out a roadmap, a national strategy roadmap in December 2021. Now, why would you take out a roadmap if you're not going to adopt blockchain? So blockchain is not going anywhere. So that's going to be there. So that's one. Cross-border direct transactions. Yes, this is a key issue which is being mulled upon in the current bill. It's one of the key issues amongst many other issues, because yes, there are ways, anti-money laundering, terrorist funding. These are some of the issues which are there in the blockchain space, in the crypto space. But we are going to address them point by point a little later. There are many, many solutions as well. How we implement the solutions, India is a large country, so it's going to take a little time. But cross-border transactions is one of the key areas of concern for the government, and there is work being going on in that. So somebody asked me, Murray asked me, what do you think about the metaverse? I think the metaverse is a great alter ego for all of us. It's a place where we can express ourselves. And you know what? I tell all my friends, all my guys, and I'm telling you guys as well, why has blockchain become so popular all of a sudden? We talk about cryptos, blockchains, NFTs, Web3, Metaverse. Why has all this become so popular? I'll tell you, go back to the basics of blockchain. Decentralized, distributed, immutable. Actually, this is what all of us are. We want to express ourselves. without the rules. There are not too many rules in this space right now, which could be a good thing or a bad thing. But that's one thing it allows us. It allows us to express ourselves. And that's why there has been so much iterations and so much growth within this space also. So that's what I think is the metaverse is just another version of a place where we want to express ourselves. We can do what we like, how we like, make our own avatars, dress what we like, comb our hair the way we like, go to whichever concerts we like. We can do a lot of things. It's a great way of expressing yourself. It's a great alter ego for ourselves. A lot of people like that, especially in a digital world where we live on devices. We have more Facebook friends than we have real friends. It's a great opportunity for those guys to go there. But I would still advise, make real friends. Facebook friends are just a number. I always believe in the real friends still. But as I said, it's just either you can go out in this universe or you can go to the metaverse. It's basically giving you a nice option, a digital option, a little more bells and whistles. So enjoy the bells and whistles. There are lots more things we can do. Yesterday, in fact, we created something. There's a lot of things of creativity happening in the metaverse. We are opening up a meta university for that matter. I'm working on that project right now. That's something of use now. We are using the metaverse for good, just like we're using the Web3 for good or blockchain for good. We're opening a metaversity. Yesterday, I actually put up a prototype along with a couple of my friends on putting up a courtroom and a library for where lawyers can come and actually get themselves educated and actually have simulated courtroom sessions. Like this, the metaverse is being used for really, really cool things. I can go on and on, but that's not my lecture today. It's not on the metaverse, that's for sure. But metaverse is your alter ego. So enjoy the metaverse. It's an option for you. Is decentralization possible without using blockchain? Well, decentralization is possible. We already had DLT, that's decentralized ledger technologies, but the security of the data with blockchain is the vital key there. How do you set up a community coin? Stephanie, I'd love to speak on that sometime, but it'll take me 2 hours to explain to you. Maybe we can have it some other time, but if you want more information, write into Ankur, write into me. I will definitely share you. I'll share with you a beautiful note on what I've done. In fact, I think this Monday, one of the newspapers carried my article on the community coin. Maybe I can share that with you whenever you get time. Ankur, I'll share it with you. You can share it with Stephanie.
Yeah. Okay, thanks a lot. Thank you.
Yep. So we can continue the discussion. Yes, on the Telegram affairs. Yeah. All right, regarding that's done. Sonia, we've been working on a visual map of India in stories and films. We're building a platform. Sonia, you can get in touch with me. I can put you onto a very large blockchain, which is being specifically made for the media film industries. And this could be a very good fit for that. So we can create a digital, or we can bring all this. Yeah, that's a great idea. I love what you're doing. If you need any help from me, yes, please reach out. I'll be very happy to help. It's a very interesting project, Sonia. Working toward right. Thanks, Answer, for this picture. Okay. Escape to the real metaverse. Ravindra, yes, we have choices now. You can escape into the real world or the metaverse wherever you like. And the blockchain gives you, and the Web 3.0 also gives you the opportunities. Enjoy yourself. There's a good time. When we were there, when we were young, we had only one place to go. When we used to play cricket, I used to break a window and there was only one place to run. It was home. Now I have plenty of places to hide. The metaverse is one of them, right? So enjoy that. Enjoy the journey, guys. It's really going to be fun. Does the blockchain necessarily need a native token? No, it does not need. To be very honest, you can have blockchain without a native token. We've worked on many projects where there is no native tokens, but the blockchain is there to use for security of data, sanctity of data, and immutability. So that's what it is. So yeah, and in Nirmoha, yes, it's a way to transcend the physical body, and that's it. Yes. So I think I've covered the chat box questions. If anybody wants to ask me some more questions, cool. Old hands. Blockchain for dummies. Suggested. Yes, I put that up. Yeah, I can share that book. I have a book called Blockchain for Dummies. Yes, thanks. That's my pleasure. So, yes, I have shared the book with you some time back. I'm also writing a couple of other books. So, very happy to share all of them with you in due course. And also, I'll work with Ankur on a couple of nice units for Unit and us to actually share with all our members out here.
Okay, excellent. That would be wonderful. I'd love to share it ahead. And
yeah.
I think
I've created some small modules for people to understand the metaverse, the Web3, the NFT, all these things that people ask. We have a little knowledge, yes, but let's take it to another level and enjoy that. It's a beautiful journey we are. Actually, I just always tell my friends, I come from a generation where I've straddled both worlds. I've come from a generation where we never had these. We had the phones with the little wire at the back. A lot of us have seen that generation. And now we see this generation. And now we see a generation where we don't even need phones and this to get connected. So, yeah, there we go. How can I earn from blockchain? Oh, it's Soyoma. Really good question. I think everybody in the audience can answer this question, right? If you can earn by investment. Okay, let me share something. Do I need a laptop to start? Because I don't have a laptop currently. All right, you don't need a laptop. You can have a regular standard phone, no problem. You reach out to me. I'll help you get a device you can reach out with anything. It's an IoT device. It's in the pilot stage, but you can try it out anyway. It won't harm. But to invest in it is one part, and the second thing, there's now a very beautiful, opportunity for those, and that will come up again in the month of April, I think. It's a platform where either you buy and sell Bitcoins or cryptos, if you like that. That's one way to earn and play around with coins. The second thing, if you don't have them, you can actually set up a shop like a Facebook shop and offer your services or goods and can earn crypto. So that's your answer. Isioma, if you know that, I will share with you the website. I'm not telling right now, but it's a beautiful platform coming up. You can join the platform. You can open your shop and start earning crypto. You don't need to have any money. You need to have a skill or services which you'd like to provide. Maybe you could be a community manager. You could be, you could write white papers for people. You could make presentations for people. You can do community connections. There's so many things you can do. Or you can sell your secondhand phone and say, well, listen, I'll take Bitcoin for this. So that's another way of doing that. So the thing is, there are lots more opportunities. I'm working very closely also with a company which you can actually pay your utility bills with crypto. Now that's becoming real world use of a fantastic tokenization economy. So that's it. I'm working on these projects. So I'm just sharing those with you. They're all for good, for that matter, because now you have a way of actually utilizing your crypto apart from just trading. So coins are now becoming more mainstream. So I'd love to catch up. Yes, Iyad, you can always catch up with me. You're working in Palestine. I'd love to be happy. You can, Ankur, you can share if you like my LinkedIn profile. That's the only place where I'm there. I'm not on Facebook. I'm not on Instagram. I'm still not in the metaverse, but actually I am. I have my own avatar. If I show it to you, you'll all laugh. It was made by some of the kids I work with. So in fact, they've given me 15 different avatars. Maybe I'll put it up for voting next time. Which one would you like me to be? So I'll put that up next time in my show. All right. You're still a student and don't have the capital to invest. How do I earn? I've told you how to earn. You can do a lot of things. Whatever you think your skill is, you can share your skill on that platform. People will actually reach out to you. I'll connect you to that platform. All right, fill out the key. You can also get tokens via airdrops. Oh yeah, that's a good one, Ty. Yeah, right. You can get to airdrops. There are a couple of websites where you can check out where the airdrops are coming in. You can go there and collect them as well. Right. You may not be able to make money out of that right away, but maybe in due course of time, you would be able to do that. So I have there's another question from Kalini. What is the best platform that I can start a blockchain project? Let's say open a shop, as you mentioned. Yes, for that, you got to reach out to me. I'm not giving them free publicity for sure, but you can reach out to me one-on-one. And it's going to be a very big game changer. Not only can you open a shop, they've connected with everybody around the globe who is accepting crypto as a payment, as a mean of payment. So now you have two options. You can pay them directly on crypto, or you can earn crypto like a Facebook shop. Lots of opportunities, guys. Lots of opportunities. And one of them right from India. Great. Now, you have never won any airdrops? All right. Very, very sad you've never won. I thought everybody gets an airdrop, more or less everybody. All right, you reach out to me. I'm working on about 18, 20 different projects. I'll make sure all of them give you some of the airdrops, okay? I can actually do that, no problem. We'll see that you have it. And could you touch on renewable energy and local energy storage, says Anna. Anna, I'll be happy to share a white paper I've written on renewable energy and the blockchain. Feel free to reach out to me. You think Isioma thinks airdrops are a scam? Well, a lot of people think it's a scam, but then it's free. So you're not losing anything, frankly speaking. If you get something and they get some value, let's not call it a scam. Let's maybe say you have not been lucky enough so far. Maybe this time you'll be lucky. Yeah. So yes, that's my LinkedIn ID. Perfect. What do you think about real estate and the metaverse? Guys, I worked on a project with a company, with a metaverse called Superworld. Superworld has now diced up this whole world into 64.8 billion plots of land. And guess what? They're selling fast. They're selling real fast. You got the Eiffel Tower there for sale. You got the pyramids there for sale. You got the Taj Mahal there for sale. Do you know that in the last 6 months, there have been $24.8 million of sale on the metaverse? I'm happy to share a report with you, which is telling you what we are doing in the metaverse. And the metaverse is growing. Oh, there are going to be lots of metaverses. Let's not be there. There's only one metaverse. There are going to be lots and lots of metaverses. But just like everything else, lots of them will fall by the wayside. Lots of them will converge. Lots of them will shake hands and say, let's do something together rather than doing it separately. But that's a lot of movement. Real estate and the metaverse is going to be really big. And one of the companies I know in India is making the very first India metaverse with only India as its focus, no other country. Like this, I'm making for other countries as well. First focus is on India.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah. So thank you so much. We've overshot the time.
Oh yeah,
and thank you, Raj, for taking the time out and for your insightful session. I'm sure we'll have to have you back for another session for each topic that we've spoken up today. And I hope everyone had a great first session. Looking forward to the next 6 weeks together. And please reach out on the groups. If you have any questions, Raj, you can please share the links with me, and I'll share it with the rest of the group in the Telegram. And thank you very much for your time and all the learnings.
My pleasure, guys. I hope I didn't see anybody sleeping, so I'm happy that nobody slept during my session, and I hope the rest of the sessions are as interesting, if not more, than this. But great to have you all here. Look forward to connecting with most of you whenever we can. Take care. Thank you, Ankur. Thank you, Unit. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.